Shada. Pomp and Circumstances 2026. I woke up this morning and sniffed the air which was coming through my bedroom window. Of course we have central heating and air in the early months of spring. I can't believe me and my fave gals are about to graduate. Truth be told, I am damn proud of us. CG lost her dad a few years back, or should I say our dad. But as you know already, neither her mom, me, or my own mom have even told her. But I feel our paternal grandma Booker will someday throw this secret in tequila. CG's mom face as soon as she got a chance. If you ask me, Gram acted proud of the fact her son has a love child. I took one last stretch and got out of bed, trying to be as quiet as possible as not to wake Cree or CG as I passed their bedroom. To get to the bathroom, although the 4-bedroom house has a master bedroom with a private bath, we always kept that one for houseguest, as to anyone staying over will have their privacy, especially if it's John Trey CG's brother who utilizes it whenever he sleeps over on the weekends, or Tea-Cake who is the whole who utilizes it most, but now sometimes his new girlfriend Cricket, who is now great with child, and since she lives in Taylor's with her great-aunt dear niece 79 years old Ware Pearson, so now Tea-Cake spends most nights there but does manage to sneak away for a weekend with us. But this weekend, Carnegie is coming to attend our graduation, and to be sure we aren't using her house for firewood. I guess most would think that CG, Cree, and myself took advantage of being the only seniors to have their own house would make us party animals, but nothing could have been farther than the truth. Fact is, we had to work even harder. Although Carnegie and Asante were renting it to us dirt cheap, we still had to pay the utilities and food, plus everything else to keep looking Instagram fresh, although neither of us have Instagram and rarely fool with Facebook. I even managed to get my 3 younger brothers over for the weekend. Of course, this doesn't happen often due to my schedule and their visitation with their dad and stepmom. At least I don't have to worry about them while they are with them. However, at home with my mom, Cece is a whole other story. As long as Greer Police Department doesn't come knocking on her door, she lets those boys act a damn fool. Yet and still they are not really any trouble. I just thank God they have their father in their lives, because Cece is always on her on the come-up bullshit. Yet she is the one who always gets hit in the pocket by these so-called ballers on a budget. For instance, the mystery guy she is seeing on the low, according to her, is a kingpin in training, which is why she not only drives to Travelers Rest, South Carolina, at least an hour and a half away, she also springs for the motel room because he can't let his boss, my guess is his wife, but whomever he is, Cece is a bigger fool behind him than she has ever been. She even rented out my room to this chick named Aaron, whose baller on budget was a dude called Lil Bam Bam. He is away on another prison bid, so Aaron is also on her groupie shit. But I guess as long as she pays rent for the room and share her devil's lettuce, it seems Aaron is dating. Let's keep it real, screwing a dope boy that she is keeping secret from Cece, which to me only means she is messing with the same guy as Cece. Hell, I heard she has a child for a married man. But the funny saga is, she befriended his wife on Facebook, lied and said she was related to the husband. She lied and said her parents put her out. The wife, Sherry, no fan of Ty's family herself, believed Aaron and invited her to stay with both she and Ty. Not thinking to ask Aaron who was the baby's dad. Of course Ty was pissed, but he played the cousin role for as long as he could, until his mom and grandma outed Aaron as someone Ty had messed with and the same one who was trying to blackmail the family. Hearing this, Sherry put Aaron out. There are a lot of bullshit moments for Aaron after that, including Sherry and Ty adopting her child after he turned 2. So now that Lil Bam Bam is locked up, she is residing in my old bedroom and working at Adidas. I went into the bathroom and turned on the shower and set the temperature so that the water would be 80% hot and 20% cold. It felt so good I stayed in for nearly an hour and a half. CG and Cree were still asleep. It was Friday, and like the movie said, it was Friday, and they didn't have shit else to do. I dried off and went back to my room. I slipped on my jeans shorts, a Nike t-shirt, and my cloth white tennis shoes. I love them, and since they look good and only cost $7 a pair, I bought 4 pair and I keep them clinically clean. Hell, I do work in a nursing home, so 1 pair is for work, the other 3 pair are for shits and giggles. I finished dressing. I took my hair down. While looking into the mirror, I was reminded how much CG and I look alike. So much so that people mistake us for sisters. She loves it. But as I mentioned before, she not Cree knows that CG and I have the same father. John Booker was there with his wife, Keela, while she gave birth to CG, but it was his brother. My uncle Fabian was in the delivery room with my mom a week before CG was born. I held no grudge, but now that John is dead, everyone is still keeping the secret. I must admit, he always gave my uncle Fabian money to make sure I wanted for nothing. But I did want for something. I wanted a dad. I walked out the door and headed for the bank before going to see my mom. It was her birthday and my grandparents had sent me money for my graduation, $2,000, so I took out $500 to gift her with. She is the type who would rather have cash than gifts. Her pay from Sugar Dumplin', the candy store she runs with 3 other ladies. Cassidy. Uppity for no reason, just because she married a private pilot who is rarely in town. She is alright once you get to know her. Etienne, who is like a favorite auntie type, very pretty. But also a fool for a married man, such a fool that she gave birth to 3 of his side babies. Then we have Anjoli. She is kind of off in the head. She murdered her husband for cheating, slapped the hell out of his corpse during the funeral service, then a few months later took a large dump on his grave, had taken 7 X-Lax pills and washed them down with hot cocoa to be sure to get the job done. All of this not only got her a few months in a mental hospital, but a crazy check that assures all she would ever have to do is get that ping on her phone each month. Her parents and her late husband's parents share custody of her kids, until Anjoli can prove herself the ability to care for them, which I know she is capable of. But I guess she felt like she was living her best life by playing thump thump. But she is often now reason for me to be looking out for Cree's safety, because it has been recently that Anjoli has also been messing with the same dog-ass dude, Shelt. I drove my car to the bank and took care of that for Cece. I went in and withdrew $500 for Cece, knowing it would be so hot it would burn through her hands. Especially since Aaron looks like a soon-to-be deadbeat situation. I mean, maybe paying $250 a month to rent a room, yet still pretty much have run of the whole house. Food and the soap and water to wash her ass. Probably washing it to give it up to Cece's new guy friend. Please, get the hell on. I was turning into the apartment complex. When Big Bro Suarez was pulling out off the entrance, he flagged me down. I was gonna try not to be nosy, but knowing his girl Tonda is out of town visiting her parents, due to her father having hip replacement surgery. So why was his goofy but doing out so early? What you going out here so early? Don't let Tonda have to come home to any bullshit. I said. Nah, I dropped my boy off up the way, since he still can't drive until his therapy is over. He said. Shelt. I grimaced. You already know. But I guess if Bree took him back then she deserves to get played. He said. He promised to get a suite for Cree and himself after the graduation party. I sighed. I wouldn't count on it. Bree is coming back that day, but he got Cree a nice Birkin. He grinned. Well, at least she can put the money you gave to her in it, and make us all look rich on vacation. I laughed. Quiet as it's kept on vacation is the only place she better rock it, because in Greer, South Carolina, it came straight out of Bree's closet. He howled. Now that's low even for Shelt. I'm about to go give my mom $500 for her birthday. Hopefully Aaron is still sleeping, just something about her. I said. Anyway, I am about to go holla at my mom and dad. Tell ya mom's happy birthday. He said. All right. Hey, how often does Shelt get away with pinching off his wife's valuables without her finding out? I asked. Whenever a special occasion comes, graduations, and the every year trip to a doctor to handle that. Suarez laughed. By nosy. He drove off laughing like a loon. Or whenever he gets high and watches Sesame Street. I drove on down to my mom's apartment. Surprisingly, my key no longer fit the back door. I went around to the front, same thing. I bammed on the door and Cece comes to open it, handing me a new key. They changed all the locks yesterday when they placed the new alarm systems. About time too. The last time they upgraded was 2 weeks after you were born, damn, almost 18 years ago. She grinned. Congratulations, baby gal. High school graduate. She hugged me. Thanks. Happy birthday. I grinned, handing her the bank envelope with 25 $20 bills. Ah, Shada. You shouldn't have, she said, all the while snatching the envelope. Dang mama. It's yours. No rush. I laughed. You hungry? I am used to cooking for 5, but with the boys gone for the summer, and you moved out, I made bacon, eggs, grits, and garlic toast. She offered. Cece ate garlic toast damn near every meal. Yeah. Dad, I think I want a BLT. Can't have a heavy breakfast. I will catch the itis and won't be able to get anything done, I said, opening the fridge. Well damn. Make me one. You want juice or soda? Got your fave. That medicine-y tasting Dr. Pepper, she said. I managed to make our sandwiches, and we sat down to catch up on a few things. Oh, Smokey told me you gave Jeremy and Lana tickets to your graduation. Cece said, taking a bite of her sandwich. Uncle Smokey talks too much. But yeah, I did, so they can bring my little brothers to my graduation. I said. You told me you only get so many tickets free, but the rest of them has to be purchased. You could have just told them to watch it on Facebook Live. She snarled. Well, they actually paid for their tickets. They sent me the money for the tickets. And they sent CG Cree and myself a 75-inch smart TV. I said. Oh, did they? Y'all over there had bougie living big screen TVs and all. She shook her head. Whatever. I wanted my little brothers to be at my graduation, but yet and still I didn't want to have to cut their vacation short. They need Jeremy and Lena. I said. It's funny that I hardly recall Jeremy being here like that. I said. He was in the army. The 3 years we were involved he lived on base. And I was still living with your grandma and grandpa. So I knew I could count on them to watch you. I guess I should have known 3 kids later he still wound up with someone else. Cece looked upset. Before she could finish, Aaron came bouncing out of what used to be my room. She sniffed the air. Cece girl. Hey Shada. It smells so good in here. I bet I have put on 20 pounds since I moved in, Aaron said, helping herself to breakfast, ruining a rare occasion, just mom/daughter time. Hey Aaron. I like the haircut. The scrunch goes well on you. I lied, this tramp looked like Roots the Next Generations. I did it myself. She beamed. And that is truly what it looked like. I am gonna go get mine done tomorrow. Darlene only has 2 openings at Hair Glory. Graduation and vacation is all the rage this week. Damn, my baby gal is graduating. Cece beamed with pride. Thanks, Mama. I can hardly believe it myself. Tea-Cake and Carnegie are gonna stay the week with Cree, CG and myself. Oh, and Cricket. I said. Yes. Girl, Tea-Cake is gonna be a daddy. Please video chat with me. I can't believe he was never gay. Wow. Well, put it this way. Tea-Cake's sexual preference never bothered either of us, truth be told. Cricket is not the first girl he has been serious with. I explained. Well, if she is crazy as her aunt dear niece, then heaven help us all. Hell, it may be so dramatic that Tea-Cake decides to just ride this bullshit out. All the way to the sheriff department. Cece said. Aaron and I just sat still, eating like she didn't know where her next meal was coming from, but I noticed she always found a way to exit a conversation about babies. After all, she hasn't even tried to reach out to her son, who was adopted by his dad and his dad's wife nearly 7 years ago. At least I can say one thing, Cece may be a bit self-centered and immature, but she did right, and then some. When it came to my brothers and me, she always fussed about nothing. Then an hour or so later she has forgotten what she had been mad about in the first place. And as for all these crazy kids, she looked lost at the thought of the summer without my little brothers. Well, I hate to eat and run, but CG and Cree are gonna meet me at the car rental place to rent the car for our trip to Myrtle Beach. We are leaving Sunday, I said, standing up. Who is gonna be at your place while you are gone? Aaron perked up. CG's brother, John Trey, and his homeboys Tej and Mario. I said, not even giving her the chance to volunteer her to do it. Okay. I will see you marching Friday. So proud of you, hold on a minute. Cece said, ducking off into her bedroom, coming back with a Prada gift bag. I opened it. And wow! The Prada purse and matching clutch. Oh my lord. Cece. I love this. How could you? I mean, wow! I exclaimed, hugging her. You deserve it, Batgal. She laughed. I left feeling like, wow, I should have moved out sooner, wow.